And I'm just excited about this young man taking time out of his schedule. This man, Mr. Randy Hedge, known as the Cowboy. And I remember met him like 30 plus years ago. 30 plus years ago in our former MLM company, XL Communication. And he was something else. He built a super huge team. I mean, it started off there in the South, and he just spread off the United States and did a big group. And when he walked the stage, you knew exactly who he was. You knew who he was. And he's been a leader ever since I met him and known him and his lovely wife. And they do things together, and I love it. He's doing a lot of stuff on the internet. He does a lot of these fireside chats. He may talk about it today at his place. And the first time we had him on the call was January the 11th at 2:20, January 11th last year on a Wednesday. He's been back several times with us. For you all that don't know him, you're in for a treat. Get your notepads out, your pens, get ready to take notes, your pluma, your lápiz, your cuadernos, and let's go with take notes because he's going to bring it as he always does. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, none other than my dear friend Randy, known as the Cowboy.
Well, thank you, Mr. Thomas. I wish my parents were still alive so they could have heard that amazing introduction. My mom might have believed it. My daddy would have known you're spreading it a little thick, as we say here in the South, friend. It is an honor to be here. I am coming to y'all from D Queen, America. That's a little town in the southwest corner of Arkansas. I've lived here for over 40 years. I was a Texican by birth, born in Corpus, grew up just north of Houston. And between my 8th and 9th grade year, my parents moved back to Arkansas. Now, you talk about a culture shock, a Texican in the suburbs of a big city moving to a small town in rural America. I remember that I asked them, I said, y'all play football? And they said, what? They'd never even heard of the concept. I mean, folks, I live so far back in the country, we don't get Monday Night Football till Wednesday afternoon. You get the So it's an honor to be on here. It's a pleasure. Mr. Thomas has always been one of my heroes, my mentors, a legend. I don't feel worthy to be able to address his group or to be a part of a program with him. So I'm truly, truly honored to be here. Al, what do you want to talk about this morning? How can I help you and your folks?
Well, let's talk about give me a little bit of your DMO, and I know you're doing a lot on the internet stuff. So tell us, last time you were spreading a little bit of that knowledge around, people got blessed by that, and give everybody a little bit of insight of how you're building your business out there in the sub. See, you're in a small town America, and people don't understand that they can live anywhere in the United States and Canada in small town and build a huge organization. So fill them in how you built in your organization, how you built it.
So you kind of preface this. I started years ago in direct sales. My first venture was Excel Communications. That's where I met you and Paul and Kenny and Steve and all those guys. And it was a life-changing experience. But after Excel had ran its course, once it was done, I told myself I was through with direct sales. I was not doing any more multi-level marketing. The pyramids were done. I was over. But my best friend out of Texas, Mr. Presley Swaggerty, who I think y'all have had on this call as well, he called me up and he said, hey, man, we get paid on people's electric bills. So over 20 years ago, I started with a company called Ignite. They represented Stream Gas and Electric. And guys, we did very well, even though it's never been available where I live, even though my closest customer, get this, was 3 hours away. One direction before I could even enroll an electric customer. Well, as you all know, a few years ago, ACN bought our company. They were kind enough to transfer our business, our customers, our downline over. And ACN has been a blessing because no matter where you live, guys, there's a few services that'll work for you. And more importantly, they have just launched Impact Health Sharing. Guys, if you haven't got on the Impact train, you need to learn about it. I think it's going to revolutionize the health insurance industry. I'm on a crusade to help people save money, have better protection. But that transition hasn't been real easy for me, just to be real honest, because I'm so used to just talking about one product. Now I have a whole suite of products. I mean, everything from AT&T to Vivint to Dish, Direct, Impact, Zoom Energy. So I was a little lost when we first came over as to, okay, how am I going to build this in small America? What am I going to do? And then something happened, y'all might remember it, called COVID. And I can tell you the only good thing that came out of the pandemic for me was it made me get outside of my comfort zone. Instead of doing in-home meetings, instead of traveling and doing big hotel meetings, instead of getting up on the stage, I had to learn how to do Zooms. I had to learn how to do Google Meets. I had to learn social media. And guys, the blessing for me has been something called TikTok. Now, understand, being TikTok famous is kind of like being Monopoly rich. It don't really mean anything. But what it did allow me to do was connect with people from all over the world. I mean, I go live every morning. I'll typically have 100, 200 people in my live, and I'm just sharing tips. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a couple of life lessons right now, guys. I'm going to give you two things that I promise, I guarantee will change your life. It's a given, no questions asked. If you will apply this, if you will do this, the first and most important thing I recommend is every day, part of your daily foundational habit when you get up, you need to write down your gratitudes. You need to write down 3 things every morning. And I'm not talking about just recite them. I'm not talking about saying them. You have to physically write it down. There's something magical happens when we put pen to paper. Look, Al's got his. Guys, every morning I journal my 3 gratitudes, and that has made a huge difference. Now, I also have a lot of other things. I believe in the importance of grounding or earthing. I believe in the importance of hydration, drinking 8 glasses of water a day, having your prayer time, your affirmations, your meditation. I certainly think that you need to be reviewing your goals, your to-do list. You need to be reading something good, listening to something good, putting in some good content. I've become a big fan of breath exercises and using those breathing. So that's my morning routine. Before I ever pick up my phone, before I ever get started, I get my day lined out. The second tip I'm going to give you, and look, it's real simple. Just get you a notepad, get you a book, just write down your gratitudes, do it consistently every morning. You'll be amazed at the impact that'll have on your life. The second thing, Al, is this little book right here has been a game changer for me. Guys, I'm not selling these. I'm not promoting them. I have no commission affiliation whatsoever. The book is called Skill with People, and it's by Les Giblin. Skill with People by Les Giblin. I think you can get the audio version for like $4. You can probably buy the book off Amazon for $6. But here's the good news. I'm giving you, as the kids call it, the tea. I'm giving you inside scoop. You can download this book for free. There is a free PDF out there. Go look, free PDF, Skill with People by Les Giblin. And look, to call it a book is kind of exaggeration. It's a pamphlet. It's 52 pages. But other than the Bible, I will tell you, I think it is the most powerful 52 pages you'll read. Because what business are we in? The people business. So wouldn't you agree the better your skills are with people, the better your business will be? Look, everything in life is about communication, about connection, about engagement. And the better you are at that, the better your business will be. Get this book. I'm going to give you a quick highlight. It starts off talking about human nature and understanding human nature. Guys, I got a few cows. If you want to work with cows, you got to understand how they think, right? I mean, that just makes sense. What works with cattle? Well, it's the same with people. You need to understand what's important to people. And the author goes into talking about how to skillfully talk to people, how to make people feel important, how to agree, how to listen, how to influence and convince people. Guys, it is just an absolute gold mine, and it's free. Just go download the PDF. Now, I promise you, if you will do your daily gratitudes and you will study and apply, you hear the second part, study and apply. Look, knowledge is important, but it's worthless without application. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. So learn these skills, put them into your daily life with your family, your business partners, with your kids, at church, and your softball team. Guys, this will affect everything in your life. And if you get nothing else this morning, that book, it's a game changer. So that's my free gift to you this morning. I decided I got to get online. I can't go do meetings. So I started just talking to people. The very thing I just shared with you is what some of my videos, some of my lives are about. I just get on there and answer questions about being an entrepreneur, building your own business. Guys, I have multiple Zooms every day with people who came into my TikTok live or watched one of my videos and reached out and said, "Hey man, I want to know what you're doing. Hey, can you show me how to do what you do?" And it has become a massive recruiting tool to the point, get this, Al, Presley made fun of me a while back about doing TikToks. He's like, "Why are you doing, guess who is big on TikTok now? Mr. Swaggerty. He's not only drinking the Kool-Aid, he's making it. Guys, if you're not using social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, think about it. We used to call people ignorant, illiterate, who couldn't read or write. Well, I would submit to you that the people who don't have an online presence, the people who don't have an online business, even if you've got a brick and mortar, you sell tires or donuts, you still need an online presence. I spoke today with this morning on my live, I had over 26,000 people come through my live. Do you understand the power of that? I would have to talk to every person in my town 10 times a piece to get to that number. Guys, social media, and look, it's not comfortable. It's not fun. I hated it. I absolutely hated it because you don't get any feedback. See, I love this because I can see your pictures. I can see you smiling. And look, 80% of learning is visual. 80% of communication is visual. Are they nodding? Are they smiling? Are they all frowned up? So getting on TikTok was very hard for me. And it was a skill I had to develop and learn. My closing remark would be this. If a redneck in a cowboy hat from Arkansas can do it, anybody can. Develop your personal habits. Do your gratitudes. Be willing to put something good in your mind every day. I highly suggest this book is another good one to add. And then get out of your comfort zone. And guys, use TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook. I don't care. Get you a social media presence, or you're going to be the future that we call illiterate. All right, Al, do we want to take questions? What do you want to talk about? I'm just here to help any way I can. And I might have overstayed my welcome already.
No, sir, you have no stage of the welcome. I love what you said. I'm going to recap what you just said. There's two things every day. Write down your gratitude and also make a list of your to-do list. And number two was skills. Skills book is great. Every day, improve your skills. Skills are so important. I love it. And he said, study and then apply it. He says he had to learn what? New skills. You guys hear that? He had to learn. So if he had to learn new skills and as successful as he is, now he's got 20,000, 26,000 people coming through his TikTok. What do you think? This is good stuff. So let's say this, Randy. You got Mr. Hedge. I know you're. But anyway,
Randy, please, Randy.
Yeah, yeah. You got out there. You started. When you first start doing it, I know it was uncomfortable, but where was your breakthrough at when you started doing it? When was that aha moment or your light bulb go off for you?
When I first started, my attitude was I'm pitching my program. I'm trying to sell what I do. And guys, people can smell a fake a mile away. Inauthenticity does not work. So I've always believed that life, like everything else, you reap what you sow. Whatever you plant, that's what you're going to get. You can't plant taters hoping to get maters. It just don't work that way. Karma is real. So it became very evident. Look, if I want this to be successful, I got to give. The number one salesman credo is give, ask. Give, ask. So I just started doing little motivational self-improvement type videos talking about what's worked for me and how I've learned this, and this is what Mr. Al Thomas taught me, this is what Presley, and I made it very clear. Look, I'm not the originator, I'm not the author, I'm not smart enough, I didn't write this book, but I can tell you about a good book, right? The people who are really successful are the ones who know other people that are successful. You show me your network, I'll show you your net worth. You show me who you're listening to, who you're associated with, who you're following, and I'll show you who or what you'll become. So I've been blessed that I've had amazing mentors in my life, and I just share what they've taught me, whether it was my daddy or my grandkids, whether it was Mr. Thomas, whether it was Jim Rohn. Oh my gosh. If you don't know about Jim Rohn, 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 Jim Rohn, you can go to YouTube for free and watch some of the greatest life improving personal development skills ever shared. It's for free. Jim has changed my life. Now, I was blessed enough early on. I got to meet Mr. Rohn, and I'm a big fan. But what I'm telling you is there is a self-improvement course that can truly benefit your business, your life, and it's free. You just have to take time to go watch Jim Rohn on YouTube. And if you watch him and don't feel like I do, you wood's wet. We couldn't set you on fire with a hand grenade.
I like that one. Can't set you on fire with a hand grenade. So your first customer was how far away from your house?
So in the energy business, my first customer was, I had to drive past Sulphur Springs, which is about 2.5 hours. Texas was the first deregulated market for energy. And you really didn't get into the areas where Texas is deregulated until you drove about 3 hours here from Arkansas. And it's still that way. And still the vast majority of my income every month comes from energy customers, because that's what we did for 18 years before ACN bought us. So it was such a blessing, ACN transferring that downline, those customers, and I still get paid on them every month. Now, if I'm real honest, COVID hits, my business isn't growing. I can't understand all these other products. I kind of semi-retired, maybe, kind of just sat down. And then ACN bought Team National and brought in Impact Health Sharing. And when I saw that product coming from an insurance background, I knew it was a game changer. It's a crusade. Guys, I got to tell you, your average customer is about $40 a month once you've maxed out your commissions to 20%. Think about that. If all you do is go get 50 customers on Impact, you're making about $2,000 a month. If you get 100 customers on Impact, you're making about $4,000 a month. If you're one of those exceptional people and you go out and get 250 clients one time, you're making about $10,000 a month. Who cares if it takes you a year, 2 years, 3 years to get 250 personal enrollments? But don't forget, the greatest part about our business is leveraging yourself, sharing it with others, duplication. Let's assume you get a team of just 100 people, and those 100 people all want to make $2,000 a month. That seems reasonable, right? We all know people would like to make $2,000 a month. You help them get to 20% commission. You help them get 50 Impact customers. They're making $2,000 a month. But for every one of those customers that they got, you're overriding them at about $6 per customer. So if my math is right, let's do our N2s. Y'all get out your Big Chief tablet. Let's double check this. We're going to get 100 team members who get 50 customers each. That's 5,000 customers. And I can tell you, you make about $6 per customer per month. You're making an extra $30,000 a month on your team. Here's the numbers, real simple with Impact. You get 50, teach 10 to get 50, you're making $5,000 a month. You get 50, teach 100 to get 50, you're making $32,000 a month. Guys, I've never seen any program that has such commission. So look, and I'm not talking bad. I love Flash Mobile. I love Vivint Home Security. ID Seal, ID protection is very important. All of our products are great, but the money right now and the most help for the customer. Look, I just signed up a family of 6, Al, mom, dad, 4 kids. We saved them $2,000 a month. Saved them $2,000 a month for better coverage. They can see any doctor they want. There's no in-network, out-of-network. We're now beginning to offer discounts on dental and vision. It has a prescription drug program that's amazing. Guys, I was paying $50 a month for my blood pressure medicine. I've run hot my whole life. It don't matter if I'm fat, thin, exercise, I'm a little high blood pressure. I was paying $50 a month with Blue Cross and Blue Shield for those little pills they made me take. When I switched to Impact, same pharmacy, same bottle, same number of pills, same bag, less than $8. It all went back to what little card I had in my pocket. So I can go on and on. I think we are at the absolute beginning of a crusade. We are at the beginning of a revolution of helping people understand there's an alternative to traditional health insurance.
That is so powerful. Everybody write that down. 50 customers will get you a residual of $2,000 month after month after month after month. 100 customers is 4,000. What would y'all do with $4,000 a month every month just on that one service, month after month after month after month? What is that? 4,000 times 12. What is that? 48,000 a year just in one service? And what if you got 250 customers? That's a $10,000 residual times 12. That's 120 grand a year. Man, you almost can qualify for a black card. I'm just joking. almost, not quite, but you're about a tenth of the way there. But look at that residual. Now, just think about what he just said. What would you do with 10 grand a month coming through every month? And that's just what you did, not include your organization did, and overriding them. Wow, did he put a spin on that? Wow. Okay, let's do this. Let's take about 7 questions, and we'll let Mr. Randy Hedge get back to what he's doing. He's out there relaxing in the front yard. I see the American flag blowing. And how you got some horses out there, Randy?
Where we live, we don't have any livestock here, but about 18 miles north is where the ranch is, and we have cows.
Okay.
We have cow calves. I'm actually sitting by the pool. The pool's right over that way. This is a little gazebo. It's where I do a lot of my filming. I look, this is my office. I love being and it kind of communicates the lifestyle, right? Live it on your terms, the way you want to.
That's right. You got what kind of acres you got there where you at now?
We live on 13 acres here. The ranch and all that land combined is about a section, which is a little over 640 acres.
Yeah, say it again because people don't know what a section is.
A section of acreage, a section of land is 640 acres, and we've got a little bit over a section. Yeah,
there you go. That's a little bit of spread. It'd take you more than an hour to cut that on a rider more.
yeah, it is a lot of land to look at. That's a fact.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, anybody got a question for Mr. Randy Hedge while we got him here for a few more minutes? Real quickly, put a name and your question. Name and your question. Anybody got a question? Yes, Mr. Dix, it's an awesome service. Raise your hand. Raise your hand in the chat if you got a question. Don't come on, guys. If you don't, I'm gonna let them go. Don't. Hey, come on. There's no such thing as a bad question. Going once. Raise your hand. Go in the chat. In the chat.
I think Terry's trying to talk. Looks like.
Yeah, she is trying to talk. Take your phone off, dear, and then Miss Cosby, you can go next. Josh should be number 3, sir. Miss Terry?
Yeah, I just wondered, is there any Jim Rohn that stands out? Like, I listen to Jim Rohn a lot, but is there any?
There are several that are my favorites, but to be honest, Miss Terry, it's kind of like, do you like a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge? I don't know. That's a personal preference. What I can tell you is you need a truck. So all of his videos, and there's some that are specific to network marketing. There's some that are about personal development. There is one where he talks about how life is like the seasons. Summer leads to fall. Fall leads to winter. Winter leads to spring. That is one of my personal favorites. But to call off an exact title, I couldn't do that for you. I will tell you this. Just go start watching them, and you will find just unbelievable wealth of knowledge that will apply in so many areas of your life.
I'll give you one that my SVP song was I Walked the Stage was from Jim Rohn collection. And the song was Battle of Your Mind, Battle of the Mind, because your mind's always battling. Your conscious mind is saying, yeah, I can do it. Your subconscious mind says, no, you can't. So you always got a battle going on between those two, because when you go to sleep, your conscious mind goes to sleep, your subconscious mind never sleeps. So the Battle of the Mind is a great one. That was my SVP Walking on Stage song. Jim Rohn, Battle of the Mind. Okay, Miss Cosby, you're next up. Miss Cosby?
Yes, hello, good morning. I was steadily trying to unmute it. I just wanted to know, how did you approach your customers to enroll in the Impact Healthcare?
So there's
Good question.
2 ways that I build my business. One is people I know, right? The warm market. And look, if you'll just have a conversation by simply saying, hey, what do you do for healthcare? Man, be ready. I hate it. It's went up. I can't afford it. I don't have it. And just say, are you open to an option that might work for you? And that's how I get a lot of my customers, is just asking what they do and then explaining. And I got to be honest with you, one of the biggest problems I have is when I give them a quote, they believe it's too good to be true. The price is so much savings. I mean, we're typically saving people 30, 50, 70%. So then it becomes an educational deal. I start dripping videos on them. I send them to my little website that explains it. I let them see customer testimonials. I get them to go watch YouTube about it. So it's a process, but the first and always the best in any business is warm market. Just ask a question. What do you do for healthcare? And you'll be amazed at what doors that'll open. Now, when I'm on social media, I talk a lot about, hey guys, you know, the average American's health insurance went up 28.9% last year. That's the average. That's a 30% increase in 1 year. If you're struggling to pay that health insurance bill, I have an alternative. Reach out. I'll tell you about it. And then I send them to my little website. I visit with them. So I basically just put that question out. To answer your question, the best way to build your business is ask people questions either in person or on social media. And it's working well for me.
Love it. What do you do for healthcare? Love it. Right. That's powerful. Miss Josh Casey. Thank you, Miss Cosby.
All right. Good morning, sir. Josh Casey out of Marietta, California market. I'm out prospecting, as you can see. And what is your go-to pitch when you're out prospecting cold market?
Well, the biggest thing that helped me, Josh, is I quit prospecting. I don't believe prospecting works. What I did was change my mind and said, I'm going to try to make a friend. I'm not prospecting, I'm friend hunting. And so I would just talk to people. Hey man, what do you do? How long have you done that? Does your mama know you do that? Do you think you'll always do that? Just listen to them, just visit. And if you are better at listening than talking, they will tell you why they want to join your business. They'll tell you that they're sick of a stranger raising their kids, or they hate their boss, or, you know, they're already working 2 jobs. Guys, I continue the conversation about them. I listen to what they tell me, and they will tell you why they're going to join your business. They'll give you that answer. Now, it might not be on the first conversation. It might be 3 or 4, but if you're out there just trying to meet people, to make friends, make connections, and not think about, okay, how can I work in about how much money? Don't do that. Just be genuinely interested in them. Ask questions and listen. And when they say, for example, you're talking to a guy, hey man, what do you do? Oh, I'm a mechanic. Do you enjoy that? No. Well, what is it you really want to do? I've always wanted a gerbil farm out in California. If I could just have me a little gerbil ranch where I could be a gerbil cowboy, that's my life goal, is gerbil ranching. And so I go, well, tell me about gerbil. And we get to talking, and at some point it pauses. And unless he is a complete cucumber, he's going to say, what do you do?
What do you do?
And I'm going to say, well, Josh, that's amazing that you asked. I teach people how to have their own gerbil farm. I answer what it is they want. And look, guys, that's all our business is. No one woke up this morning saying, man, I want to sell long distance. I want to sell cell phones. I want to sell health sharing. But everyone woke up this morning saying, I want some freedom. I want to be able to pay my bills. I want to have more money than month. It's not about the vehicle. It's about the destination. And then it becomes just explaining to them, confirming with them how this vehicle will get them where they want to go. That's all I do. I don't prospect. I just visit. I try to make friends, and I listen more than I talk.
Thank you. We had a question pop up from Mr. Manny up in New York City. How long are your TikToks?
It'll vary. Some of them are 20, 30 seconds. Some of them are 8 minutes. The longest you can go on TikTok right now is 10 minutes. So it depends on what I'm working on, what I'm doing. My TikTok live, I typically go live Monday through Thursday for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's my choice. You don't have to do it. I could actually be much more successful if I'd go live in the evening. That's my analytics on TikTok tell me that's when all my viewers are active, is 7 or 8 at night. But I'm not willing to give up my evening. So in the mornings, about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock my time, I'll jump on. And look, we talk about the very things I just gave y'all. That little book, writing your gratitudes, how to work on your positive attitude. And, you know, people inevitably will say, well, what do you do? And I'll say, well, I've got a couple businesses. I have some cows, I've got some rental property, I've invested in some car dealerships. But the reason I was able to do all that is because I've been in direct sales for 20 years. If you're open to direct sales, if you understand multi-level marketing, I got the greatest opportunity you'll ever see. Probably need to talk offline about that. Just send me an email. And that's what I do. The TikTok algorithm is one of the most confusing, frustrating things you'll ever find. Some of my videos go wild, some of them do nothing. You're just basically putting information out and people are connecting with you. Now, somehow I've ended up with almost 250,000 followers. It just blows my mind that 250,000 people like me enough that they followed and they listen and they comment. What I'm going to tell you is this. I don't know your background. I don't know your skill, your knowledge, or your experience, but I promise you there are people right now who want to know what you know. So if you'll just start using what I shared earlier, give, then ask. I give free content. I give training tips. I give advice. If you will give before you ever ask, you can grow it on TikTok. If you're interested in that, it's at Randy Hedge .wealth mindset. Randy Hedge .wealth mindset. Now look, there's a bunch of scammers out there. It's hard to believe, but there's a lot of people who've stole my picture, my videos, my name. So when you go to Randy Hedge .wealth mindset, all one word, you're going to see several that have my picture and videos. The one that is me, the one you're looking for, is right here. I'll show it to you. And you can watch my videos. You can see what I'm doing and how I do it and what I say. And I mean, guys, it's an open book, but you're looking for the account that has, right now I'm at 248,400 followers. That's what it'll look like right there. Feel free to.
What you're saying is, I could get a black cat and go on there and pass off as Randy Hedge.
Actually, I think you don't need a hat, Mr. Thomas. All you need to do is start it off every time with woohoo.
Hey, I'm gonna put on everybody out there. You guys gotta get her done.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Miss Rutherford, you had a question.
I do. And, I want to thank you for your suggestions with TikTok, because I am just getting started in that arena. And I got a feeling that you did not go out to follow people, but they found you. 2 quick questions. Do you use hashtags in your live posting and your posts? And if you had the opportunity to talk with a mayor of a city, what would be your three suggestions of starting that conversation, that Zoom event?
Okay, well, let's take them in reverse order. If I talk to a mayor, it would be the same way as if I talk to a truck driver. It would be the same way as if I talk to a salesman. I would try to find out what it is they want. I would listen to why they would want to join my business. Now, I probably would tailor it to that person. Once I understood what they wanted, I would explain, hey, I've got a thing, I got a system, I got a business that might help you do that. And Mayor, you've already got the credibility, you've already got the connections, people know you. So I would reconfirm what they have, but I try to treat everybody the same, prince or pauper, successful or just struggling and trying to get there. Because the reality is you never know who that person knows and what could grow from that. So I've taught for years, a dud will beget a dud that begets a dud that begets a dud that begets a full-grown stud. It's just planting that seed and following that line. But if they're successful, if they've had some success, obviously they're on top of my list. And the fact that he's mayor or she's mayor, just shows me that, yeah, this is the kind of person I want to visit with, but I treat them all the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Thank you so
piggyback
much.
off that. We
Yes,
as
sir.
people get so hung up on people's title, doctor, mayor. God, folks are the same. It's in our minds. No, treat them the same. I totally concur with that.
My
Okay.
dad always said all those letters in front or at the end of your name, it's kind of like the tail of a pig. It ain't got nothing to do with the quality of the bacon.
I like that. Sherry on in Florida. We got one more for you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you, Mr. Hedge, for this platform. I had a quick question about whether you have a video that specifically talks about the business opportunity regarding Impact Health Share.
I have multiple videos. I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say there's probably on my channel right now over 100 videos talking about Impact, ACN, direct sales. Absolutely. Look, if you just throw one fishing hook in the water, I promise you I'm going to outfish you because I'm going to have 20 hooks in the water. It's all about exposure. But yes, ma'am, I have. Look, and it's an open book. Just go check out the profile, watch what I'm talking about, see how I do it. And if it's worked for me, it'll probably work for you. Just mimic it. I haven't created anything special. I've just stole from the best. The reason I'm successful in direct sales, the reason I made money in these pyramids is because of Mr. Al Thomas. I listened to what he said. I went and did what he said. I listened to Paul Orbison. I listened to Presley Swaggerty. I listened to the Macers. I follow and look for clues of successful people, and then I just reproduce it.
Very good answer.
Hey, Al, I want to make a point real quick. You mentioned the hat.
Go ahead.
When we first got started in Excel, I went to the first meeting that Kenny Trout was going to be at that I could attend. And I got there like 2 hours early. I sat right up front. All these people around us are in 3-piece suits. They got the cufflinks, the slick back hair. You know, I mean, they're all Wall Street professional looking. And here I am in this big old cowboy hat, right? I'll never forget it. I was told you might want to take that hat off. And I almost did. And then it dawned on me. This is who I am. If I can't be myself and do this, forget them. So I didn't take my hat off. Guys, here's the point. Be authentic. Be genuine. Now, that don't mean you can't get a better cowboy hat. That don't mean you can't improve on what you are. You can't get better skills. I'm not saying don't grow, don't develop, don't change, but remain authentic and true. So I left my hat on, and Kenny's up there talking, and I'm sitting there nodding. And as soon as it's over, Mr. Trout comes off stage, and he walks past, no exaggeration, 100 people trying to get to him, and he comes straight on a beeline to me. He walks up and he throws his arm around my shoulder, and I remember thinking, man, I should have took the hat off. And he said, you know, I don't like public speaking. I'm always nervous up there. But to see that big old hat nodding up and down, to see you smiling and agreeing, it really helped me. Thank you for that. What's your name? And I said, well, my name's Randy Hedge. He goes, are you that kid they're talking about that tells the jokes and so good? Are you the cowboy? I said, well, yes, sir, I guess. And that was the beginning of a phenomenal relationship. I got to fly around with Kenny on the G5. We went to Canada. We went to Europe. Guys, that connection. And you know why? Because I was authentic and I wore my hat. It's not the hat. It's I'm being true to who I am. Now, if I had listened to all those naysayers and tried to change into something I wasn't, look at what I would have missed.
Wow. And that's how Kenny was too. You know, Kenny, he, you know what? I remember backstage many times where we did speeches backstage. He would throw up before he went up because he was so nervous. He'd grab the pole and sometimes he actually broke the podium. He was so by looking at your hat, it gave him something to watch and to focus in on. And man, I thank God for Kenny Trout. That one of my billionaire mentors. Man, he was amazing. We made history. Did better than Microsoft. That was amazing. We made history that'll never be broken. So thank you, Mr. Hedge, for that reminder. Last question, Mr. Jason Sturts, dear friend of mine here in Las Vegas. Yes, sir. I like you put your camera on.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Good morning. Yes, sir.
My question is how long ago did you start TikTok, or how long did it take you to get up to the 240,000 followers?
Great question. So I started TikTok about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, just kind of on a whim. And it's just been a very slow, methodical, chip away at it grind. I never had a viral video. I never had a video go over 1 million until a couple months ago. So if you go back and just watch my videos, you'll see how bad they were in the beginning. And then you'll see I kind of learned to film it a little better. I learned to get to the point quicker because, as y'all have already figured out, I stumble and mumble, and sometimes the point is lost because I'm chasing rabbits. On TikTok, I'm going to give you some clues. This is all social media. You got to have an immediate connection. Now, all the experts call it a hook. I don't like that term. I'm not trying to hook anybody, but it still applies. You need a visual hook, you need a verbal hook, and you need a written hook. If you're not putting captions and titles on your videos, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, I don't care. Every video should have a title and it should have the captions. You know why? The majority of videos are watched on silent. They're in the cubicle at work. They're in high school. They're at the ball game. They're in the doctor's office. If your video doesn't have captions, you're missing, at least by the most conservative estimate, 50% of your viewers. So when I learned to start putting captions and titles, and look, it all goes back to one thing. It's not hashtags. It's not when you post. It's not what color of the screen, or all of those little things make a little difference, but it's all about, what are you saying? Your content. Are you authentic? Are you genuine? Are you giving value? Can people resonate? And just be true. Hey guys, I am scared to death to do this TikTok thing. I can't believe I'm even on here talking, but I believe the future is online and I ain't going to miss it. Look, guys, it's an absolute fact. If you don't have an online presence, you are going to be the new illiterate. That's just where everything is going, is online.
Man, I could agree with you, concur, because I'm not that good. I sucked that I started, but boys, that little by little now the momentum is starting to catch on, and I tell you what, I'm strapped all in, buddy. I tell you, it's so true. I've been missing. I should have did this years ago, but here again, when I get it, I get it. So thank you.
I was the same way. I avoided Facebook. I would create a Facebook account to be able to watch my kids, grandkids, and people would start following me I didn't know, and so I would get another account. I actually would not try to grow it. My mindset changed when I realized, guys, there is a fortune, an undisclosed fortune online. I mean, think about that. Last night, I had 17 guests on a Zoom that had seen me within the previous 3 to 4 days. I got to tell 17 people about ACN just simply because they saw me on TikTok, either through a video or through a live.
Yep, I love it. I love it. All right, last question, and we'll let you go, my friend Melissa Williams. We're going to let you stretch that last question, young lady.
Thank you so much for this platform, Mr. Thomas and Mr. Hedge. Hi, Randy. Quick question. Do you do AI technology with the subtitles? And
no, ma'am, I can't even spell AI.
Me neither. I just want to.
So look, I'm not saying that AI is not important. I will tell you this. AI is still at the position where most of us can realize it's AI. So what I'm a fan of, and what I am just starting to do, I'm just now learning it, is using AI to help me create ideals, help me generate those connections or hooks, but then I put it in my own words. Look, I keep going back to it. You got to be authentic, right? If I go into AI right now and say, okay, they call me Randy, the Cowboy, I need to, well, the first sentence it goes is, yippee-yay, buddies, you're going to get bucked off on the trail. And, that's not me. I don't talk about bull riding and trail. I mean, I am a cowboy that raises cattle. I don't ride them. So that doesn't mean the tool's not there. AI can help you, but ultimately you still need to be genuine, authentic. Now, there are some gurus who can actually train the AI where it does sound like you, where it will become authentic. I just haven't got there yet. Now, I don't believe that AI will completely replace it because we are a human to human business. That's what it's all about. So it goes back to the connection. But no, ma'am, I've not used AI to this point. I've played with it maybe 4 or 5 times trying to figure it out. And the results for me have not been what I wanted. I think that's more because of my lacking. That's more because of my uneducated skills in it. I will tell you this. Fear is holding you back. We all have fears. Courage is being afraid and doing it anyway. There's something you know you need to be doing in your business right now you're not doing because of fear. But you know, the great thing is action takes you out of fear. Just start doing it. You'll see a difference.